Hello again, my friends.
Back for more punishment.
Well, it's not a laughing matter when it comes to the hurricane, because right now, as you can see, it is a major hurricane. So we're looking at Hurricane Delta right now, 115 mile an hour winds, Category 3. The pressure is at 959 millibars, and it's moving towards the northwest at 12 miles an hour. Currently 345 miles south of Cameron, Louisiana. Wow, when it rains, it pours. So we're looking here at Louisiana, and as you see, Baton Rouge right there, and Lafayette, Lake Charles, and of course New Orleans. Say hello to my cousin Billy in New Orleans. Hopefully everything's okay out there. This area was hammered just a little while ago, and here it comes again. People are taking this seriously, as you see. This is I-10, about 15 miles west of Lake Charles, backed up for miles and miles and miles. Residents in this already storm-battered area are appearing to listen to warnings to, get out. And this one's going to have a good, strong storm surge. They're expecting 7 to 11 foot of storm surge in the area that's going to impact. And we'll have to watch, see if it swerves a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. And, look at this aerial photo. Those are all tarps. So, it wasn't too long ago, I think it was 34 days ago or so, that this area was hit by Hurricane Laura. And so here you go again. So many houses are still damaged and not fixed yet, as we see here. Sea of blue tarps. And then here you go again.
That's really, really terrible. And I feel so sorry for these folks. I mean, they're going through this again and again. And it's like there's already all this emotional trauma and stuff. And they got to deal with it again.
Yeah, as we see some structures still with no roofs in place at all. And, another thing to consider is all the debris that's around that will go flying. 115 mile an hour winds right now. That's forecast to land right at about the same range. Of course, that really could change. It really could change in these times. We've seen very unexpected things. And it is supposed to start to slow down a little bit. Right now at 12 mile an hour. Faster is kind of better because you don't get as much of a pileup. And we're looking at, basically it's heading right over towards that Lake Charles area again. And again, it could also move a little bit in either direction. Wow, it's definitely been a tough season. And this will be the 10th U.S. landfall, so this is going to set a record.
And, that's what we keep hearing over and over and over. Records broken, crazy.
So as you see, City of Lake Charles is working really quick to try to clear debris ahead of the hurricane. Think about everything that's here. How many pieces of wood with nails sticking out and things like that are just lying around that, just waiting to become, it could be deadly projectiles if you do end up with somewhere in that neighborhood of 115 mile an hour winds. There's going to be a lot of things flying around. Very dangerous situation.
I know. I'm really hoping people will not be there. Get out of there if you can.
Yeah, looking at those cars, that was so much like when I left with Hurricane Irma back in 2017 and left Florida. So as we see, this is the latest out of the Hurricane Center. Delta regains major hurricane strength over the western Gulf. Hurricane conditions, life-threatening storm surge expected to begin along portions of the northern Gulf Coast on Friday. So it gives you a series of watches and warnings. Storm surge warning is in effect for High Island, Texas to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, including Calcasieu. How would you say that? Calcasieu Lake. French is not a strong point for me. Vermilion Bay, Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas, and Lake Borgne. Hurricane warning is in effect for High Island, Texas to Morgan City, Louisiana. Tropical storm warning is in effect for the west of High Island to Sargent, Texas, east of Morgan City, Louisiana to the mouth of Pearl River, including New Orleans, Lake Pontchartrain, and Lake Maurepas. and tropical storm watch is in effect for east of the mouth of the Pearl River to Bay Street, St. Louis, Mississippi. So, be very aware of this. This is, if you're along the Gulf Coast, it's been a heck of a hurricane season. And a lot of people are saying, how could this be happening again? 2 times in 6 weeks?
Yeah, I know. I've never heard of it personally, and there's so much destruction, from the first one, and now they have to brace for this again, plus hold down all of that debris from the first one.
Well, that's part of what we're going to have in these times. And, when we have the natural thing going on, the grand solar minimum, which happens. We also have a magnetic pole reversal underway. And then we have all the technology that we don't know exactly where it's being used exactly. There's different things that we see pop up. Strange images pop up, like Dutch's caught with the infrared, the heat signatures, strange artifacts from the sky, strange ripples. Are they from CERN? Who knows? There's definitely weather modification. That's a fact, as we've seen so many declassified documents. So we're grateful to see some dogs got rescued from Louisiana, and they're heading to San Diego for a second chance. 103 dogs rounded up and rescued.
Which is an absolutely beautiful, wonderful thing. I'm so grateful for that.
So let's take a peek at the quake situation. So the USGS is showing 287 quakes currently in the map area. And we know that's not really all the quakes that are out there, especially because you could usually look and compare this to other sources, and you'll see there's tons in Central America, tons in Europe that they just don't cover. But we do have a 6.3, so that's pretty big, and that's in Papua New Guinea, and the depth is 103.5 kilometers. Actually, you got a little bit more bigger activity right now. We do have a 5.0 here in Russia, 5.7 over in Alaska. There's quite a bit of activity through Papua New Guinea, and you see a 5.8 there also, and a 4.9. And we go and we look. Now in the Caribbean, we've seen some pretty good activity. One just came off the books. Let's see if we zoom in. That was a little bit on the larger side. Yeah, this one. 5.3 that hit there on the 7th. And that was 67 kilometers east-southeast of Cruz Bay, U.S. Virgin Islands. Absolutely gorgeous area on through there. And we'll just go to 1 day, all magnitudes. It's part of the times that we have. And check this one out over here. 2.3, 3 kilometers northwest of South Webster, Ohio. So that's not one we see all the time. Southern Ohio, very curious one there. We've had activity here since that little bit larger one in Sparta. Now it's interesting that they're showing it as a negative 0.6. I've noticed that over at that location. They're not showing a lot over here. Dutch has been watching Dutch Sense, in case you guys don't know Dutch Sense. He's been watching the New Madrid, and he does live in Missouri from what I remember, because of those strange heat anomalies that are apparently popping up.
Everywhere. They're popping up all over the place, which is curious too.
These are curious times. Mm-hmm. Now, Southern California is still a lot of activity, but nothing like what we had seen before. So if we're looking over here, down around Salton Sea, you see it's quieted down quite a bit. We still have 36 quakes in this area. And ever since that bigger one over here in Nevada, west of Tonopah, right now at the moment here, you got 38. So, still a decent amount of activity. The same thing over at Ridgecrest, but not like it was at peak 23 over there at Ridgecrest. Still a little activity up in Idaho. Remember, it wasn't too long ago we had a large one up there as well, as we did in Salt Lake City. There's a couple north of Salt Lake City right now. heading over towards Yellowstone. And we have a decent amount of activity up in Washington State as well. And the little diamonds are usually quarry blasts, explosions. Doing some mining for gold for the Anunnaki.
I know, right? That's pretty not nice.
So guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon and Ko-Fi. We couldn't do it without you. Stay safe, stay prepared, have a plan for whatever may come. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.